darkness, David became God's strategy by his intelligence to bring a change to a generation. Are you understanding me now? 1 Samuel 13:14, he said, but now the kingdom not continue. The Lord has sought him a man after his own heart. Are you getting me at all? So David, number one secret is that David was a man after the heart of God. How did a useless boy, how did a guy that society had written off about, how did a guy who pressure was mounted against, his father was the reason for his seemingly failed life? Because from 5 to 17, David looked like a failure to society. All of his age mates were in school. He was taking care of sheep. All of his mates were in school thinking about how they will better their life. But David was sent to the place where lions and bears were. So the system of his training was different. Child of God, some generals are not made in the battlefront. They are made in the place of preparation. No man is given a trophy at the barrack. At the barrack, you train yourself for the war zone. So why his friends went to formal education, he went to God's educational system. God became the teacher of David. He said, teach me, oh God. God became the teacher. That's another part. His father made sure that he will frustrate David to suicide. In case the lion will not kill you, in case the bear will pity you, you will look at your life and you will conclude, I must kill myself. That's how many people they have strategically led men to suicide because they felt like life is unbearable. They felt unbelonging. But how did David survive? Your own biological father calls you a bastard. Your own elder brother's last born who is treated like a cast out. So picture all what I'm saying now, Pastor. Take me to the place. David was the last born, but there was something upon his head. There was a decision that his father made, not knowing that God has a way to bring to pass even your desire. I want to travel abroad, but God may make you travel through prison. You can't understand. Every black American today, most of them have their roots from slavery and slave trade. So their relocation was at the mercy of a bad condition. Sometimes when you say God lift me, he will press you first of all. Are you understanding me at all? That's where I want to be. So let's picture this situation. Some of you here, people hate you. But when your father doesn't take responsibility, your struggling mother will try to pay your fees. You're not with me, right? When your mother is unable, your auntie somewhere will say, I will take responsibility. And when your auntie cannot, you have an elder brother who once in a while remembers you. Even if not with money, he talks to you, he greets you, he checks on you once in a while. But David's brothers hated him, that even when the oil came upon David, his elder brother still told him, where have you left the little sheep? You get him at all? So they knew that they have kept the guy in a little condition and they wanted him to remain there. They were against David coming to a place where he could show his ability. They knew the guy is gifted, so they sent him to the bush where nothing would be heard about him. They relocated David, but thank God that the prophetic wipes the pathetic. God sent Samuel. There's a young man his father has kept in the bush. He is needed in the palace. When God has need of you, nothing a man does can put you down. Don't bother that men are fighting you. They are inconsequential. David proves to me that you don't need one contact to make impact. No, when you are in contact with God, everybody will be in need of you. Are you aware that David was not in that meeting? He wasn't there. They sent him forcefully out there. So picture this. You are the last born in a family, and let's say you are let's just say you are 10 years old. You are taking care of sheep. Your mates are going to school. You are there with a stick, controlling sheep. Your mates are in very good schools, and then while you are walking around, they say, something got missing last week. It's you that took it. Because even his color did not resemble anybody there. Even his physical appearance was different, because there was something unique about him. So David was hated by a whole community. It was not just the family. The community hated him because there was a stigma So David lived in a place of hatred, of wickedness, of pressure, no one to tend to. That's how he got to fall in love with God. He got to find God in the place where men thought they want to kill him. Sometimes your greatest miracle is in the place people thought is your grave. The Hebrew boys had served God but never seen him. And so Nebuchadnezzar prepared the fire, thinking it's a fire. No, he was preparing the encounter. Their God was in a problem. Nebuchadnezzar prepared the platform for them to encounter their God. Don't look at the problem, look at the encounter that thing will produce. David teaches us, people of God, that nobody has a reason to fail. Nobody. How did a 17-year-old guy, at the age of 16, he had killed lion and bear? Now, if you know how strong a lion is, a human cannot fight a lion. The lion is the king of the jungle, and it's what they call a bear. A bear is big, very wild animal. David, 15 to 16, killed 2 wild animals to take care of sheep. When God saw that kind of a thing, God said, that's the one I've been looking for. To think that this is the hero of faith. Other heroes looked for God. Rahab did something and the men came, and she said, please take me into your covenant. Get him at all. Abraham obeyed instruction, but David, God was looking for him. He said, I've been looking for a king. I found my servant David. Without his opinion or contradiction, with my holy oil, I've anointed him. He is too good to be unanointed. He is too relevant to be ignored. I've seen something in him that even 14 Sauls cannot do. He said, now, number one, how did this young man called David, who had no physical help, no contact in the government, nobody liked him, whenever there was a meeting, they sent him to the bush to stay there. The father heard that a lion came against him. The father said, go back. They tried to kill him, but because they had a godly name, they could not kill him with their hands. But if they could, they would have killed him. So they had to use external forces to lead him to either death or suicide. But there are covenant keys I will teach you tonight that helped David. Come, breathe upon this word, your breath of life. Breathe upon this Spirit of God. As I teach your word, we surrender to your grace. Father, yield us to your Spirit and upon our minds till we become what he said. I just prophesied. The word David was a man after the heart of God does not mean that God loved him. It means he loved God. A tragic situation that will make anyone to leave God made him to love God. Do you know how many Christians feel like giving up because nobody's with them? Public opinion does not matter in destiny. Destiny is not a political affair. It doesn't matter who is against you. One with God is a majority. David got to